What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and today, yeah, it's sunny in South Carolina. Well, at least right this second it is. It was just raining about 5 minutes ago. It's that time of year, boys. Warm weather is heating up. It's getting riding season. It's time to get these bikes out and have some fun. We got a new bike on the dyno today we're gonna be doing. It's a new to the channel. I cannot believe it. Out of all these years, out of all these videos, we've never had one of these bikes on the dyno. And it's a common bike. It's one we haven't shown any love, and I'm like, you know what? We haven't done a video on one of these things. This is a super nice one. Let's go in here and check it out. GSXR 1000. Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, that's one of our old favorites, GSXR 1000, but we have not done this year model on the channel. This generation has not gotten any love, and this is a super clean, super good looking bike. We're gonna be doing a video on this thing today, flashing the ECU. It has got a VooDoo slip-on on it. So the bike is loud, it sounds good, it's stretched, it looks good. Now let's get this thing ready for the racetrack / street. Stay with us, guys, here we go. Okay, the stage is set. It's time for the baseline pull on this 2014 GSXR 1000 with just a VooDoo slip-on exhaust. Let's see how this thing does. We're gonna then remove the ECU, remove all the restrictions from the ECU. We're gonna turn off the pesky FI light. The FI light is on right now from removing the exhaust servo. We're gonna turn that off, lower the fan temps, do all the stuff we need to do to get some more power out of this thing. Let's see what happens. Comment and let me know, what do you think about the sound of this VooDoo? It's crazy, crazy loud. So you saw the baseline numbers, 161 horsepower, pretty good actually. The air fuel ratio was not that bad off. I'm gonna pull that up and show it to you here. So you can see his air fuel ratio running wide open throttle in the higher RPMs, not that bad, it's pretty close. So we're gonna see what kind of horsepower gains we can get out of this thing just by removing the restrictions in the ECU and fine tuning that fuel and ignition map. You can see we look like a roller coaster on our air fuel ratio down low. So when you're riding these things and you hit it, you'll feel that dip or hesitation in power. We're gonna correct all that with this ECU Flash. Now, I've got a ECU map, a factory map pulled up out of this bike, and I'm gonna show you what some of the restrictions are in this thing. You can see when you go wide open throttle, this is our 80% throttle, and then these are our RPMs over here. You can see that the bike doesn't actually go wide open. until 8,000 RPMs. It calls 94.5% wide open throttle, but you can see before that it's 81.6 at 8,000 RPMs. So this thing has actually got a good bit of power reduced in the low and mid range. And then of course on top end in 6th gear, it's pretty much the same way. Every single gear seems to be restricted about the same. So I think we're gonna get some nice low end gains on this thing, smooth this thing out a lot, and then we're gonna turn on the D-cell fuel cut option, which is gonna smooth out our on and off throttle transition. So when you give it gas and accelerate, you let off, and you feel the bike nosedive, boom, and then it kicks back in when you hit the gas. That's because the factory turns off the fuel injectors on the bike as soon as you let off the throttle. We're gonna change that. When you let off the throttle, we're gonna keep the fuel injectors running just a slight bit to make that transition much, much smoother when you come back into the throttle. If you're riding in the twisties, in the mountains, in the curves, this is gonna make it much, much smoother and much safer feeling for you to ride. We're also gonna go in and disable the stock O2 sensor. We're gonna disable the exhaust valve. If this customer did have pair valve block off plates, we could disable that. But there's that D-cell fuel cut option, and then we're gonna lower the fan temps about 20 degrees on this thing. That's gonna help a lot, keeping it much cooler. Another thing I wanted to mention too, I said the thing only had a VooDoo slip-on. It does have a Sprint high flow air filter as well. Forgot to mention that. Anyway guys, I'm gonna get it flashed up, and let's see what kind of power we get out of this thing now. ECU is all flashed up. We're gonna see what this thing is gonna do just by removing these restrictions and getting the fuel curve halfway dialed in. Remember, this is just our initial flash. We're gonna see what this gets us with this VooDoo slip-on. The ECU on this bike, super easy to remove. All you gotta do is pop the front seat off. The ECU basically is sitting right behind the battery. It takes about 5 minutes to remove it. You can mail your ECU in, get it flashed, get these same modifications done, all through the mail, guys. Super simple. What we've got is the final flash is finishing now. We've got some pretty good gains out of this thing so far. I think this finishing touches is gonna really put this thing over the top. We're also gonna gain some fuel mileage, guys. Yeah, believe it or not, this thing is gonna get a little better fuel mileage. Above 5,000 or 6,000 RPMs, the bike was actually too rich, meaning getting too much fuel cruising around. So this customer's actually gonna pick up a few miles per gallon, which is always a good thing. Final pull coming up. Let's see what the numbers are. right, so I told you we were doing one more run. I thought that was the final adjustment, but I saw a little bit of room for improvement. Had to go back and get it, guys. Yeah, we ended up with 169.01. We started out with 161. Look at the nice gain and how smooth the power curve is on this thing. Super good, and it's pretty much gains throughout the whole entire RPM curve. Let's pull up the torque curve here and see what we gain for torque as well. Really nice torque gains as well everywhere. We ended up with 81 foot-pounds of torque. We started out with 78. So really nice torque curve throughout the whole entire RPM range. That's gonna do it for this bike. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, check us out, moremafia.com. You can learn more about us or subscribe to the channel and learn more about the upcoming YouTube videos that we do. You won't miss one of those if you click the bell for notifications. Smash that like button. As always, guys, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.